All right, well, welcome back to the P18 podcast, everybody. Today we have Mr. Rob Richardson with us here on the P18 podcast. Rob's got a new job here. He is the head of security for us here at Perry High School. Rob, thank you for taking some time to meet with us today. We really appreciate it.
Thank you for having me.
So I have some questions for you.
Okay.
So I'm going to roll them at you, and feel free to give me the answers that you want to on each one.
Yes.
And we'll see what we come up with at the end, all right?
Perfect.
All right, so question number one. If you could share a little bit with us about your journey and how you came to be a part of Perry High School.
Okay, so it's a good question. So my journey started really early with, so we're what, P18?
We are.
My son came here from the freshman center from Kansas City, Missouri, and his first year here was 08, 09.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
So almost at the beginning for when you guys opened. So my kids came through here. So I had 3 that came through here that graduated from here. Then my stepdaughter graduated last year. I have a stepson that's still here. So I've been around, and so I'm glad I'm a part of it now. It was easy to make the choice to apply because I knew what Perry was already about.
You know, and as the head of security here at Perry, what does a typical day in that position look like for you?
A lot of meetings, a lot of communication, but the great part about it is it doesn't take me away from what I love to do most, and that's being around the kids, right, and being in the environment. Being around the kids, hanging out, talking to, helping mold is great, but all the meetings with still trying to keep this place safe and keep everything up to code. It's a busy day. 1,800 steps busy.
That's good.
Yeah.
So what part of your job would people be surprised if they knew about?
Just how much goes into it. If you've never been in education or never worked in a school system, you don't know the amount of work that goes behind each person's area of expertise. And so with security, there's so many things we have to abide by and know, and there's always changes, and we have to adapt to that stuff as well. Just the amount of meetings that you have to attend and the communication level has to be top notch if we're ever gonna stay present and stay ahead, if that makes sense.
And then not only we're talking about the school day, but there's a lot of things that happen once the last bell rings and the kids get on the bus or in the car and go home, right?
Right. So it's not just while the kids are here at school for the educational piece, it's also the sports, the bands, when they have activities, being back for those and having admin here for that as well. I mean, it's a lot. The day is always long, especially when we're in sports season.
All right, so switching gears for just a second, different style of question for you. So, and I know you're a sports guy.
Yeah.
All right, so if you could have dinner with any sports figure, past or present, who would it be and why?
Okay, so that's a great question. I have a couple, actually. And being a sports guy, you're always intrigued with other coaches and how well they've done stuff. Some of my favorite coaches are like Pat Summitt, Phil Jackson, Deion Sanders, and the coach Saban from Alabama.
Okay.
And I've always been intrigued by their ability to mold the athletes and get them to grow greater than they are. And not only that, but to get outside their comfort zone and care about the others that are around them. Like, I think those coaches were very, very smart, talented. You have to have a talent to be able to do stuff like that. So coaches have always intrigued me with their ability to reach and develop young men and women.
So basketball, right?
Yeah.
So do you have a favorite basketball coach? I mean, you named some people. Pat Summitt's basketball.
Yeah.
Right?
Yep.
Do you have a favorite, one that sticks out to you as far as basketball coaches go that you'd like to pick their brain? Phil Jackson was one you mentioned as well.
Yeah, and those would be the two. But it would be Phil Jackson. The current coaches, I mean, they have a lot to deal with because everything has changed and it's more, in my opinion, a little bit more softer. And you have to, what's the word I'm looking for? Appease the player more than getting them to buy into a system. So Pat Summitt and Phil Jackson, just the way that they were able, like Phil Jackson, the players he's had underneath him, to be able to reach them and get them to do what he needed them to do to be successful at that level with the Eagle and all the monies and all. I mean, that's intriguing.
All right, back to Perry High School for a minute here. So what do you wish that more people understood about Perry overall?
It's a good question. So here's the funny thing. Everyone wants to say, my high school is the best, my elementary school is the best. I don't think they understand about Perry. And what I can tell you that I love about Perry is everyone seems to have the same goal, and it's the kids, right? Being able to do what we need to do, but do it together. Are there differences along the way? Absolutely. But I love the environment that Perry has created. And our admin has done that. I mean, it starts at the top with the admin and works its way down, and all these people come in contact with the kids. So I feel like they've done a great job of getting the right people together for the same purpose, and that is the kids.
Okay. And then lastly, we all have choices about where we can work. What makes Perry the place for you?
Wow, I kind of touched on it with that last question. I love the environment of people here. The kids are awesome. The kids, for the most part, are awesome everywhere, but it really depends on what environment that they're in. And I feel like our environment is just different. It's caring, it's firm, it's fair, it's loving. The goal is to grow, make them great, get them on the right path. We are the village, so to speak, that is raising all these young minds, right? So the village that I'm a part of, with the skills that are here, it's just awesome to be a part of.
That's a great way to end this, for sure.
Yeah.
Rob, again, we appreciate your time today and being a part of the P18 podcast.
Oh, thank you. And anytime you got some new questions, go ahead. Let me know. I'll get back on again.
I'll hold you to it.